The Caliph expanse stretched endlessly before Commander Elora Voss, her flagship gliding silently among stars. She peered through the bridge viewport at the distant nebula, streaks of violet and gold painting the void like cosmic fire. This was no ordinary patrol. Intelligence reports had indicated that a small Terran outpost, long thought abandoned, was under siege by the Vorath Collective, a ruthless alien empire that left nothing alive in their conquests. Elora's mind drifted back decades, to a time when a young Terran scout named Jace Harper had stumbled into the path of her people, stranded on an inhospitable world. His survival had depended on the assistance of Elora's ancestors, who had provided shelter, medical aid, and safe passage back to Terran space. At the time, the gesture had seemed small, a simple act of mercy. She had never imagined that a single act of aid would echo through history, bridging species, and now, years later, the Terran fleet, vessels numbering in the hundreds, had answered that old debt. The beginning, the call for help. The first communications came faint and desperate. Holographic images flickered to life on Elora's command console, showing crumbling structures, fires, and the hurried movements of Terran soldiers holding defensive positions. Commander Voss, reported Lieutenant Rian, her communications officer, voice tight with urgency. The outpost is completely surrounded. Casualty reports are minimal, but the Vorath are advancing rapidly. Elora's jaw tightened. Set a course for maximum speed. Prepare tactical formations. This is not a drill. The fleet responded instantly, warships cutting through the dark expanse like silver blades. Elora's flagship led the charge, flanked by destroyers and cruisers, each armed to the teeth with plasma cannons, missile arrays, and defensive shields. "It's remarkable," Rian murmured. "Years of peace, and the Terrans remember." Elora nodded, eyes focused on the distant point of conflict. "Some debts transcend generations. We will not let those who aided one of our own fall." The middle, engagement in the expanse. As they approached the besieged outpost, Vorath warships loomed like predatory shadows against the nebula's glow. Their ships were jagged, dark, bristling with weapons, and driven by an alien cunning honed over centuries of conquest. "Vorath fleet is larger than expected," noted Admiral Karen, Elora's tactical advisor. "They've cut off most escape vectors. Boarding parties are already deploying." "Then we give no quarter," Elora replied. "Target their carriers first. Protect the surface forces." The fleet surged forward, opening fire. Plasma beams cut through the darkness, hitting Vorath vessels with pinpoint accuracy. Elora coordinated each strike, directing smaller frigates to flank while capital ships delivered concentrated barrages. On the planet below, Terran defenders held their positions as Elora's fleet engaged above. Jace Harper's descendants, leading the Terran garrison, relayed signals of hope and coordination, synchronizing orbital bombardments with ground maneuvers. The echoes of past aid resonated as humans and Elora's species fought as one. The Vorath, initially confident, found themselves countered at every move. Their attacks, previously unstoppable, faltered against a coordinated, decades-remembered alliance. The turning point, sacrifice and strategy. In the midst of battle, a Vorath dreadnought appeared from the nebula's edge, cloaked and nearly invisible. Its weapons began to lock on Elora's flagship. "Shields at maximum. All forward batteries. Target the dreadnought," Elora commanded. Even as her orders were executed, she realized the dreadnought's sheer power might overwhelm their defenses. Calculations ran through her mind. Evasive maneuvers might buy time, but the outpost below remained vulnerable. "I'll draw its fire," Elora decided. "Rian, plot a course for a direct intercept. It's risky, but it's the only way to protect them." Rian's eyes widened. You'll be exposed, Commander. I've crossed paths with fate before, Elora replied grimly. Time to return the favor our ancestors received. The flagship dove into the Vorath dreadnought's firing arc energy beams struck, shields flaring, metal groaning. Elora's crew fought tirelessly, every system pushed beyond limits. Above the battle, Terran forces, emboldened by the display, launched coordinated strikes against Vorath reinforcements. Their precision and bravery, nurtured by the memory of past aid, turned the tide. The Vorath dreadnought, overwhelmed by combined assault, exploded in a blaze of plasma and fire, sending shockwaves through the battlefield. The ending, the debt repaid. With the dreadnought destroyed and the Vorath fleet in retreat, Elora's forces stabilized the orbit and initiated planetary evacuation procedures. Survivors cheered as the Alliance's ships descended, delivering aid, medical assistance, and supplies. Jace Harper's great-granddaughter, Captain Mira Harper, approached Elora on the surface. Tears streaked her soot-covered face. You saved us. Just as our ancestors were saved years ago. Elora smiled faintly. Some debts are timeless. Your family helped one of ours. Today, the favor has returned. Across the planet, soldiers and civilians alike recognize the unity of the moment. Humans and Elora's species, bound across generations, proving that even in the vastness of space, gratitude and loyalty endured. Years later, the story would be told in the corridors of both fleets, of a human scout aided on a distant world, and how that single act resonated decades later, prompting an entire Terran fleet to rise in defense of allies long thought independent. It became a testament to honor, interstellar kinship, and the enduring power of choice across time. As Elora watched the Terran ships depart, she felt a quiet pride. Their ancestors' mercy had not been forgotten, and the bond forged by one act of aid had saved countless lives. History had come full circle, proving that even amidst the stars, no good deed was ever truly lost.